Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how you can easily create your own website. I'm going to be very brief in doing this because it's a whole long process. I'll show you how you can build your website without having to hire someone. You can do it all by yourself. Alright, okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is the softwares that you're going to need to do your website. First of all, we are going uh, to go ahead and install all the softwares which you're going to need. The first software we're going to use is it's called FileZilla. You can go to google.com and search for FileZilla. This is it right here, FileZilla, and you go to FileZilla, you download your software. Make sure you download the client, and if you're on a Windows computer, make sure you download this one. And if you're on a Linux, make sure you download this. If you're on a Mac, make sure you download this one. You don't want to download the Linux software on a Windows computer because it's not going to work. So you go ahead and click on download, and your download is going to start. But I'm not going to show you how to install this because it's going to take so much time. So when you download and install this program, that's what we're going to use to transfer your files from your computer to the server where you're hosting your website. The second software we're going to need is a Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver is a software that we're going to use to code our website, from HTML to PHP and everything. It makes it very easy for you. Dreamweaver actually is very expensive. If you go to Adobe, for example, go to adobe.com. You can get Dreamweaver here, but actually it is very expensive. It's like $600. So I'm gonna show you an alternative to Dreamweaver that we're gonna use, and we're gonna be using a software called NVU. NVU is actually the same thing like Dreamweaver, though it has some limitations, but it does almost everything that Dreamweaver does. So you can go to this website, nvu.en.softonic.com. You can go here and download the software. It is free. And the last software we're going to use is Photoshop. Photoshop is what we're going to use to design our logo and everything that we're going to use for the websites. Also, there are alternatives to Photoshop. If you go to Adobe, for example, you're going to realize that Photoshop alone is like $500. That's a lot of money. Where you can get it if you want to go professional, but I'm going to show you this one that we're going to use. It's called the GIMP. The GIMP. You can go to this website, gimp.en.softonic.com. Go there and download the software. It is also free, 100% free. So those are the softwares we're going to use for creating our websites. After that, I'm going to show you how to download and install the modules that we're going to use. There are so many modules out there, CMS. We have Concrete 5 that we're going to be working with. We have Joomla, which is also free. You can go to Joomla. It is also an open source software. You can go there and download it if you want to work with the CMS. Okay, but for this tutorial, I'm going to be working with Concrete 5. So without wasting much time, let's get started. First of all, if we go to concrete5.com, concrete5.org, please. CONCRETE5.org. So you go to this website, and It's an open source website anyway. All their products are free, except you want to go professional, then you have to buy some add-ons for your website and themes. But for this tutorial, we're gonna be doing everything basic. You know, it is very easy to use this to build a website. You build a website like a geek. So the first thing we have to do is to download our modules. Let's go to download. Where I'm going to be working with 5.1, which is a version I'm very versed with. This version right here, this is what I'm going to be using in this tutorial. They do have other stable versions. I think 5.2 that came out in April 18. That's a good one there because it's much more stable. It is the latest version, but I am going to be working with 5.1. 5.1, that's what I'm going to be using. So you can go to download. You download and save it on your computer. Let me save it right here. Okay, my download is complete. Now I have to extract it. Make sure you know where you're extracting the file. I'm gonna extract it to my desktop. That's where I always install all my files because it's easier to get. Where I already downloaded this, so I'm just gonna do this for everything. Okay, while my download is going on, I presume you must have also downloaded and installed FileZilla. So let's go to FileZilla. FileZilla, like I said, is a software that you use to upload files from your computer to where you're hosting your website. So we go to FileZilla, which you downloaded and installed. I think I showed you how to do that. You downloaded it from FileZilla.com. So after installing the software, we go to FileZilla, you run it, and now we have to log into our server where we'll be hosting our files. And if you need help how to log into your server, you need to contact your hosting provider. When you buy a domain name and a hosting space, they will provide you an FTP. FTP is a username and access that opens the gate to your server. Now let's log into my server where I'm gonna be using for my tutorial. My server. Okay, host is actually is just a location for where your file is located, and it must begin with FTP and your website, the website name .com, and then the username your hosting provider will give you that information. If you need any help, just send an email to your hosting provider. If you are hosting with GoDaddy, just go to their support and send them an email. They will provide you all this information. Then the port, where you can leave it blank, or usually you just put 21 there, and you hit connect. Okay, I'm now connected to my server. This is my remote server where I'll be hosting my files, and this is my computer. This is the files on my computer on my left. Okay, just a second, my download has completed. Alright. Okay, you see here, that's Concrete 5 that we just downloaded from concrete5.org. So the file has been downloaded to my computer. The next thing I have to do is to upload Concrete 5 to my server so I can get my site started. Let's log into my server. I'm already logged in, so I go to public HTML. Public HTML is where you dump all the files that people on your website can easily access. So where CGI bin, I don't need it, so I delete it. Usually I always delete it anyway because it's of no use on my server. So you go to your desktop, look for your file that you just downloaded, Concrete 5. There you go, right there. Okay, now I'm ready to upload my files. I hit Control A. That's a shortcut to select all. Control A, and all I have to do, I just drag and drop. I drag from my computer and I drop on my web hosting server. So you see, my files are uploading to my server. So actually it's gonna take a while. So while that is going up, let me pause this tutorial for a minute for my upload to complete. Then I will come back and resume the video. Okay, I'm back again. My upload is now complete. You see, all my files has been transferred from my computer to my remote server. So the second thing we need to do is to change permissions. Permissions are just some settings that you do on the remote server to allow certain folders to do some permissions that you give them. The first thing we have to do is to change the permission to config folder. This folder right here, we have to change it to 777. 777 means that we allow the server to allow upload and any changes that will be submitted to it. We change it to read, write and execute, everything 777, and we submit. And well, I see here that I've been disconnected from the server, so I want to make sure that I'm actually logged into the server before I do all the permission settings. If you need help how to do this permission, anyway, just follow this video so you'll know how to do permissions. Permission is also called chmod. Chmod is CHMOD. That is change mode, change directory, change permission directory. Okay, let's go to the permission again. The first folder was config. You right click on it and you go down to file permission. You see, I was disconnected from the server, so that setting I did was not saved. So okay, directory list is set successfully. Then the second folder we have to change is packages. Packages, we also change it to 777. The last folder we have to change is files. You right click, you go to permission files in 777, and the very last one we have to change permission. We go to concrete. Where's concrete? Right here. You go to concrete, you go to libraries, you go to third party, and you change this one right here. You change it to I think it's 755. Yes, 755. Execute 755. Group permission, public permission. Alright, now you have changed your permissions. The second thing we have to do now is to install our script. let's go to the website that I'm using for my demo. This is the site right here. Okay, you see that we are ready to install. But first of all, before we install this, we need to create what we call database. Database is like is where all the files on your server will be stored, you know, for the server to run on. So we go to formernursinassistant.com/cpanel. We go to cpanel. The username is remember the username that you use to log in here. That's the same username you use it in your cpanel, and the same password you use in your FileZilla is the same password you're going to use here. Okay, now I'm logged into my server. I'm logged into my cpanel. I'm logged into my cpanel. Let me go to home, and I go to my secure database. Now I need to create a new database. Let me call this I just created something that I'm going to save, you know, on my notepad. Okay, let me also call this concrete. The user, I call it concrete. You can call it anything, you know, but just make sure you remember what you write there, because you're going to use it when you are installing your website. So that's why I actually save my information in a notepad, so I can easily grab it from there. Okay, I've created my database. This is my database here, and I've also created a user. This is my user right here. Now I need to add a user to my database. So what I did, I went to add user to database right here. I go to add, I select all. I make sure I grant the user all the privileges to the database to create, to delete, to execute everything. You know, I make sure I check this, that everything is checked, and then I make changes. Now my database has been set up. My database has been set up. Remember, I had to save it on my notepad. That way I don't forget, because I'm going to need it to set up my website. Now let me go to my website now. This is my website. Now I need to install the CMS, which is Concrete file. You know, remember we downloaded it in the beginning of this tutorial. Okay, let me call my website Former Nursing Assistant. That's a school. It's actually, in this demonstration, it's a school that I'm using. It's a school that I'm creating their website. I actually use this opportunity to create a demo for you. Administrative login. Let me put info at Former Nursing Assistant.com. Password. Let me put I can tell you that. Alright. You remember this password here when we created our database? Remember I told you I had to save it in a notepad, right? Okay, so this is it. There's a password you put here. Then server, you always put localhost, and then the username. Remember this is the username right here. The user, this is the user right here. and then the database name. This is my database right here. Remember I told you to save this in a notepad because you're gonna need it, right? Yep. Okay, we're all ready to go. So I hit on install. Now it is installing my CMS. Alright, let me show you how easy it is to create a website. A lot of people have been calling me and asking me how to do this, how to do that. That's why I took out my time today to create this tutorial, and I hope it helps you out. If you have any questions, just drop me a comment here, and I will make sure I take my time to reply to all your comments. Alright, now my website is ready to go. I go to continue to website. Now you see Complete 5 has done they have created me a basic page that I can start to do whatever I want to do, you know. Well, this is my website. You see how easy it is? Now our website is created. The second thing we have to do is to add information to the website. Oh yeah. Okay, let me show you how to do this. First of all, we are on our home page. Now the second thing I want to do, I want to create other pages. For example, I go to About Us. Is this what I need? And About, is that what I need? Maybe that's not what I need. So I go to Edit, I go to Properties. About is not what I need, so I put About Us, right? And then let me call it About FNAA. Save. Okay, under that let me add a sub page. Let me call it anyway, let me save this first. Now let me edit this page. Okay, well, I think that's it for this tutorial. I've shown you basically everything, so if you have any questions, just show me a message.